In this video, I'm going to show you something that might completely change the way you think about Alzheimer's disease. For decades, we've been told that the main cause of Alzheimer's and dementia is the buildup of amyloid plaque in the brain. But what if I told you that's not the full truth? What if the real cause of Alzheimer's isn't about the plaque at all, but something much deeper? Something that starts silently years before any memory loss or brain fog ever appears. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to help you understand what's truly happening inside your brain, what's accelerating memory loss, and most importantly, how you can begin to restore your memory, clarity, and focus again. And before we dive in, if you're new here, welcome. This channel was created to help you protect and improve your memory, reverse cognitive decline, and regain the mental sharpness you had when you were 20. If that sounds like what you're looking for, make sure to subscribe and stay until the end, because I'll share a simple 7-second ritual you can do at home that could help you start recovering your memory naturally. I'll leave that video linked below in the description and in the first pinned comment. Let's begin with something important. Why this topic matters. Right now, over 55 million people around the world live with dementia, and that number is expected to nearly triple by 2050. Alzheimer's disease is the most common type of dementia, accounting for about 60 to 70% of cases. Families watch their loved ones slowly lose the ability to remember names, recognize faces, or even carry on simple conversations. And the hardest part? Many are told there's no hope, that this decline is inevitable. But that's not true anymore. Research in the last decade has started to reveal something shocking. The accumulation of amyloid plaque in the brain may not be the cause of Alzheimer's, but rather a symptom, a response like smoke from a fire, not the fire itself. This means that by focusing only on removing plaques, many treatments have been targeting the wrong problem. So what's the real cause? More and more studies point toward metabolic dysfunction in the brain, something researchers now call type 3 diabetes. It's when your brain cells can't properly use glucose for energy. Imagine your brain like a city that suddenly runs out of power. The lights flicker, the communication lines fail, and soon, neighborhoods start to shut down. That's exactly what happens during the early stages of Alzheimer's. Your brain cells, or neurons, depend heavily on a steady stream of energy to store and recall memories, to think clearly, and to maintain focus. When this energy flow becomes disrupted, it leads to brain fog, short-term memory loss, and eventually, long-term memory decline. It's like trying to run a high-performance engine with the wrong kind of fuel. It just doesn't work. What causes this disruption? Chronic inflammation, insulin resistance, lack of essential nutrients, toxins, and even sleep deprivation can all play a part. Each of these damages the brain's ability to use glucose, creating a perfect storm for cognitive decline. This is why some people experience symptoms of dementia years before they're officially diagnosed. Things like forgetting appointments, misplacing objects, or struggling to find words. Those are often early signs of dementia. Let's take a closer look at how this energy crisis begins inside the brain. When insulin resistance affects the brain, yes, the same problem we usually associate with diabetes, neurons can't absorb glucose efficiently. This triggers oxidative stress, inflammation, and damage to the mitochondria, the tiny power plants inside your brain cells. Over time, neurons start to die, especially in areas responsible for short-term memory, like the hippocampus. That's why people with Alzheimer's often first notice trouble remembering recent conversations or where they left their keys. But here's the good news. There are natural ways to support your brain's energy metabolism. You can feed your brain differently, encourage it to burn ketones for fuel instead of sugar, and support mitochondrial health with key nutrients and habits. And in a moment, I'll share some practical steps you can take starting today. But before that, let me ask you this. Have you ever felt that frustrating sensation of walking into a room and forgetting why you're there? Or trying to recall a familiar name that's just on the tip of your tongue? That's not normal aging. That's your brain signaling for help. The beautiful part is that when you begin addressing the root cause, not just the symptoms, your brain can start to heal. It's been proven that neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to rewire and repair itself, continues well into your senior years. I'll be explaining how to activate that process soon. And by the way, if you'd like to know a powerful yet simple ritual that can help reignite your brain's natural ability to remember and think clearly, the same kind of clarity you had in your 20s, I've left a link below to a video that explains exactly how to do it in just 7 seconds a day from home. Now let's talk about one of the biggest misconceptions about Alzheimer's disease: the idea that amyloid plaques are purely harmful. That's not entirely true. Recent research suggests these plaques might actually be your brain's way of defending itself. When your brain experiences chronic inflammation or exposure to toxins, amyloid proteins are produced as a protective mechanism, trying to isolate the damage. But over time, if inflammation continues, these plaques accumulate excessively, blocking communication between neurons and worsening memory loss. So the real goal isn't just to remove plaques, it's to reduce the underlying inflammation and restore proper energy metabolism in the brain. That's where lifestyle, nutrition, and specific natural compounds can make a huge difference. And we're going to explore each of these in the next part, including what kind of diet and daily habits can literally help clear the fog from your mind and strengthen your memory again. Now that you understand that Alzheimer's is not just about amyloid plaque, but a metabolic crisis within the brain, let's explore how this happens and what you can do to protect yourself starting today. The truth is, the brain is one of the most energy-hungry organs in the entire body. It represents only about 2% of your total body weight, yet it consumes over 20% of your daily energy. That's why when your brain's energy supply gets interrupted, even slightly, you begin to experience symptoms like brain fog, forgetfulness, confusion, and short-term memory loss. Let's begin with the role of inflammation. Chronic inflammation is like a slow, invisible fire inside your brain. It damages neurons, disrupts communication, and interferes with the balance of neurotransmitters, the brain's chemical messengers. One of the leading triggers of this inflammation is a poor diet filled with refined carbohydrates, sugar, and processed fats. Every time your blood sugar spikes, your brain suffers. That's why many experts now refer to Alzheimer's as type 3 diabetes. If you've ever felt foggy-headed after eating a heavy meal or tired after sugar, that's your body telling you that your brain isn't getting the fuel it needs. Over time, these glucose spikes and crashes can make your neurons resistant to insulin, the hormone that allows glucose to enter your cells. Once this happens, neurons start to starve, and the process of dementia begins silently. So, what can you do about it? The first step is to stabilize your blood sugar. That means reducing processed foods and increasing healthy fats like olive oil, avocados, walnuts, and omega-3 fatty acids from fish. These fats can help your brain produce ketones, a cleaner and more efficient energy source. Think of ketones as the premium fuel for your brain engine. Many people who adopt a low-carb or Mediterranean-style diet report that their mental clarity returns, their memory improves, and that constant mental fog begins to lift. I want you to imagine this. Every time you choose whole foods instead of processed ones, you're literally helping your neurons breathe again. You're feeding your brain energy instead of chaos. And that simple act, meal by meal, could be the difference between a future of clarity and one of confusion. Now, let's move to the second key factor: oxidative stress. This is what happens when your brain is exposed to too many free radicals, unstable molecules that damage your brain cells. Think of it as rust forming inside your brain. It accelerates aging and destroys the very structures responsible for memory storage. This oxidative stress can come from pollution, poor diet, lack of sleep, or even chronic stress. To combat this, you need antioxidants, your brain's natural defense system. Vitamins like C and E, compounds like resveratrol and curcumin, and nutrients such as magnesium, zinc, and B vitamins all play a critical role in protecting your brain from damage. Foods like blueberries, turmeric, dark leafy greens, and green tea are especially powerful. These aren't just healthy, they're brain medicine. It's fascinating how the same foods that heal your body also heal your mind. You see, your brain and gut are connected through what scientists call the gut-brain axis. That means inflammation or imbalance in your gut can directly impact your memory and mood. So when you nourish your body, you're also nourishing your brain. And if you're wondering how to restore your memory like you had in your 20s, I've left a video below explaining a simple 7-second ritual you can do at home that helps support this healing process naturally. Now let's move to the third major factor: sleep. One of the most overlooked causes of memory loss, brain fog, and even Alzheimer's disease is lack of proper sleep. During deep sleep, your brain actually cleans itself through a process called the glymphatic system. Think of it as a nightly rinse cycle that removes toxins and waste, including amyloid buildup. But if you're sleeping less than 7 hours, or your sleep is interrupted, your brain never completes this cleaning process. Have you ever noticed how much harder it is to concentrate or recall information after a night of poor sleep? That's not just fatigue. That's a mini version of what happens in the brains of people with chronic sleep deprivation. Over time, the buildup of toxins leads to cognitive decline. It's one of the early signs of dementia that often goes unnoticed. So, if you want to prevent Alzheimer's, you must prioritize deep, restorative sleep. Create a bedtime routine. Turn off screens an hour before bed. Keep your room dark and cool. Try magnesium or herbal teas like chamomile or valerian root to relax your nervous system. Your brain needs that downtime to repair and recharge. One powerful study from the Alzheimer's Association found that improving sleep quality in middle age significantly reduces the risk of dementia later in life. It's never too late to start. Let me tell you a story of a woman named Clara, who in her early 60s began to notice short-term memory lapses. She would forget names, misplace keys, and sometimes even forget appointments. Her doctor told her it was just aging, but she refused to accept that. She began to make small changes, removing sugar, eating more healthy fats, taking walks outside, and sleeping earlier. Within months, her brain fog started to lift. She said it felt like someone had turned the lights back on in her mind. Clara's story is a reminder that memory loss is not an irreversible sentence. It's a signal that your brain needs care, nourishment, and balance. And remember, if you want to go deeper and learn a simple 7-second daily ritual that supports sharper memory and mental clarity, I'll leave that link below in the description and first comment. It's something you can start doing today, right at home. In the next part, we'll explore 2 more powerful causes that go beyond diet and sleep, including how toxins, stress, and nutrient deficiencies are silently affecting your brain, and what you can do to restore mental clarity, focus, and memory naturally. Now let's continue and look at the next 2 hidden factors that silently damage your brain and lead to Alzheimer's, dementia, and that constant feeling of brain fog that so many people describe as living inside a cloudy head. The 4th key factor is exposure to toxins and environmental pollutants. Most people don't realize that the air they breathe, the water they drink, and even the food they eat can contain small amounts of toxins that accumulate in the brain over time. These toxins, like heavy metals, mercury, aluminum, lead, pesticides, and industrial chemicals, can trigger inflammation, disrupt communication between brain cells, and block your brain's ability to detox naturally. Research on Alzheimer's disease has shown that areas of the brain affected by memory loss often contain higher concentrations of metals such as aluminum and mercury. This doesn't mean these metals cause dementia directly, but they make your brain more vulnerable to oxidative stress and inflammation. Imagine trying to think clearly while surrounded by microscopic sparks that slowly burn your neurons. That's what long-term toxin exposure does. So how can you protect yourself? The first step is awareness. Avoid heating food in plastic containers, filter your water, and eat organic whenever possible to reduce pesticide exposure. Include foods that support natural detoxification, things like cilantro, garlic, broccoli sprouts, and green leafy vegetables. These foods help your liver and brain work together to eliminate harmful substances. But detoxing isn't only about food. It's also about what you breathe and what you think. Studies now show that chronic stress releases high levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, which can literally shrink the hippocampus, the memory center of your brain. That brings us to the fifth key factor: emotional stress and lack of mental rest. Chronic anxiety, emotional tension, and overthinking are not just mental issues. They're biochemical storms that alter your brain's structure over time. Cortisol, when elevated for long periods, damages neurons and reduces your brain's ability to form new memories. Have you ever felt like your mind goes blank during stressful situations? That's not coincidence. That's your brain's protective response to overload. One of the most effective ways to combat this is through mindfulness, slow breathing, and grounding exercises. Taking just 5 minutes a day to breathe deeply and calm your nervous system can have profound effects on your mental clarity. Meditation, prayer, or simply spending time in nature has been shown to lower cortisol and improve cognitive function. You don't need expensive therapies to start healing your brain. Your mind needs calmness the same way your body needs oxygen. Even listening to calm music or spending quiet moments away from screens can help restore balance. And as you do these things, remember, you can retrain your brain. Neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to grow new connections, doesn't stop with age. Every new healthy habit, every positive thought, and every act of self-care rewires your brain toward health. Now let's talk about nutrients and deficiencies that often go unnoticed. Your brain is a biological masterpiece, but it needs the right building blocks to function. Nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, magnesium, and B12 are essential for maintaining healthy neurons and neurotransmitters. Deficiencies in these nutrients can cause symptoms that look like dementia, confusion, memory loss, and even depression. One common deficiency I see often is vitamin B12. It plays a critical role in producing myelin, the protective coating around your neurons. Without it, signals in your brain slow down, leading to fuzzy brain symptoms and memory lapses. Another common issue is lack of omega-3s, which are vital for reducing brain inflammation. People who consume more omega-3 rich foods like salmon, flax seeds, and chia seeds show lower risk of developing Alzheimer's dementia. Then, there's vitamin D, something we produce from sunlight. Low vitamin D levels are directly linked to increased risk of dementia and cognitive decline. Spending a few minutes under natural sunlight each day can make a real difference. And let's not forget hydration. Even mild dehydration can cause confusion, headaches, and difficulty concentrating. The brain is about 75% water. Without enough hydration, neurons can't transmit signals efficiently. That's why sometimes what feels like memory loss is actually just the brain asking for more water. When you combine nutrient optimization, toxin reduction, better sleep, and mental calmness, something amazing happens. Your brain begins to clear the fog. Your thoughts become sharper, your recall faster, and your emotions more balanced. People often describe it as waking up from years of dullness. I've seen this transformation in countless people. Those who once feared they were slipping into dementia or early Alzheimer's disease, but discovered that their brains were not broken. They were simply undernourished, overinflamed, and overstressed. Once they made these small changes, eating whole foods, managing stress, improving sleep, their minds began to come back to life. And if you'd like to discover an even simpler way to speed up this process, one that helps reawaken your memory in just 7 seconds a day, I'll leave a video linked below in the description and in the first pinned comment. It explains a natural, science-backed ritual you can do at home that supports memory recovery and cognitive clarity. In the final part, we're going to bring everything together. I'll summarize the key lessons, show you how to visualize your future with a clear, powerful mind, and guide you to take action so you can protect your brain, improve your memory, and live with clarity and confidence again. So, let's bring everything together. We've uncovered that Alzheimer's disease is not simply caused by amyloid plaque. It's the result of a complex web of metabolic, inflammatory, and lifestyle factors that slowly starve the brain of its energy. When your neurons can't get the right fuel, when inflammation and oxidative stress take over, and when sleep, nutrients, and calmness are neglected, your brain begins to fade. But the hopeful truth is this: you can change it. You can protect your brain and even begin to restore your memory. We talked about how stabilizing your blood sugar helps your brain use energy efficiently, how healthy fats, like olive oil, avocados, and omega-3s, can become premium fuel for your neurons, how antioxidants from colorful foods like berries, turmeric, and greens protect your brain from oxidative damage, how proper sleep cleans out toxins through the glymphatic system, and how emotional calmness and nutrient balance can reignite mental clarity and focus. Each one of these steps may seem small, but together, they rebuild your brain from the inside out. You don't need to make them all at once. Start with one. Maybe go to bed 30 minutes earlier, or swap one processed meal for something natural and whole. The key is consistency, because every healthy choice you make today is an investment in your future self, the one who remembers names, laughs at old memories, tells stories with clarity, and lives fully present in each moment. Now, I want you to imagine something. Imagine waking up one morning feeling truly awake. Your thoughts feel organized. Your focus is sharp. You remember what you wanted to do, what you needed to say, and where you placed your keys effortlessly. The cloud that used to hang over your mind is gone. You can read again without losing track of the words. You can have deep conversations, remember faces, and reconnect with that version of yourself that you thought you'd lost. That is possible. The brain is incredibly adaptable. It can heal, grow, and renew itself at any age when given the right environment. Think of your brain as a garden. When it's neglected, weeds grow. Toxins, stress, poor sleep, and processed food. But when you start watering it with good nutrition, deep rest, mental calmness, and healthy routines, new life begins to bloom again. Memory returns, clarity grows, and joy follows. And if you're thinking, I've tried everything before and nothing worked, please don't lose hope. The problem isn't that your brain can't heal, it's that you may not have addressed the real cause. Alzheimer's and dementia are not destiny. They are a warning sign, a message that your brain is asking for help. And now, you know how to answer that call. Because the real cause of Alzheimer's isn't the plaque. It's the loss of energy, balance, and nourishment within your brain. When you reverse those imbalances, the transformation begins naturally. And the best part? You don't need to wait years to notice changes. Many people start to feel improvements in clarity and memory within weeks, once they begin feeding and resting their brain properly. If this message resonated with you, I encourage you to take the next step. I've left a special video right below, in the description and in the first pinned comment, where I explain a simple 7-second ritual you can do at home to help restore your memory, boost focus, and clear brain fog. It's something anyone can do, no matter their age. I personally believe it's one of the most powerful tools to help the brain return to its natural, youthful state. And if you want to continue learning how to protect and improve your brain health, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new video. I post content every week to help you live longer, think sharper, and keep your memory strong. Before we close, I want to ask you a question. Imagine yourself 5 years from now. Do you see yourself remembering everything clearly, telling stories to your loved ones, and feeling mentally young again? Or do you see yourself drifting, forgetting, and slowly losing connection to who you are? That vision is shaped by the choices you make starting today. Your brain is waiting for your care. Feed it, rest it, and love it. And it will reward you with years of energy, sharpness, and connection. You are not broken. You are simply ready to wake up your brain again. Now, if this video inspired you, please leave a comment below and share what part resonated most with you. Hit the like button so that more people can discover this message of hope, and share it with someone you care about, someone who might be struggling with memory loss or brain fog. Together, we can bring awareness and change to millions who have been told that memory loss is just part of aging. Thank you for watching until the end. I'll leave another video here on the screen that will guide you through more natural ways to strengthen your memory and protect your brain from dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Go watch it now, and I'll see you there.